Here at the White City this afternoon, beautiful weather prevailing in Sydney, and the crowd at White City, probably the biggest we've had at a tennis tournament for a great number of years. It's wonderful to see such a big crowd having turned out today, but who could blame them coming to see what's going to be a wonderful match, in particular between Laver and Rosewall, and under perfect conditions as we have. It's warm and sunny in Sydney, a light northeasterly breeze blowing. The centre court, although wet at the beginning of the week, has dried out in the early stages of the week, and with competition on it from Wednesday, is playing hard and true. Now, Alf Chove has rejoined us. A few comments, Alf, about what we could expect in this final.
Well, everybody calls Ken Rosewall the old man of tennis because he's 35, and suggestions that he gets very tired. But I'd like to discount that completely, because the age of most of these great players at the present time is around the 29 to 35 mark. And after all, Rod Laver is 31, and Rosewall has kept himself in perfect physical condition. He's not an ounce overweight. He's got a very keen tennis brain. He knows exactly when to make his run. These two have played each other quite a lot, but getting back to condition, those of you who saw the New South Wales Championships here in 1968 will recall that Tony Roach did beat Ken Rosewall, but it took him 5 sets. And in the 4th set, Rosewall was down 1-5 and fought back to win it. So I can't see any old legs down there as far as Kenny Rosewall is concerned. Had he given up the game and tried to come back, that is different. But he has continued to play. That is why one of the reasons that Pancho Gonzalez, an older old man, approaching 42, can still play 5 sets, because he's never given up the game. This sounds like a plug, Bert, for tennis for a lifetime from 8 to 80. I wouldn't like to forecast the result of this match. Don't forget that both of these players are exceptionally good on fast services. But although Ken Rosewall has won so many major titles in a long career, which started about 20 years ago on this same court, he has never won the Wimbledon singles. He was beaten in the 1954 final by Drobny after a long match, and he was beaten in the 1956 by Lou Hode. Ken turned professional in 1956, and it took him some years to wear down Gonzalez as the top man, but he held the position of top pro until about 18 months after it was taken from him by the red-headed Queenslander Rod Laver. Ken was born in Sydney, a product of the Sydney Hardcourt Junior Development Scheme, a program which has produced many of Australia's greatest players over the last 20 years. He's only 5'7". Rod Laver is only about 5'8.5" to 5'9".
International Men's Singles Championship between Mr. Ken Rosewall, New South Wales, Mr. Rod Laver, Queensland. The best of 5 advantage set. Mr. Rosewall won the toss and selected the serve. Lines be ready. Players ready. Play.
We welcome viewers to South Australia to the start of the Men's Singles Championship, Rosewall versus Laver.
Halt.
South Australian viewers join viewers throughout New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria and Tasmania to this direct telecast from the White City in Sydney. Just in.
15 all. Fault. Out. 30-15. Fault. All. Forty 30. Fault. Take it. Game Rosewall. Rosewall leads 1 game to love.
In the earlier match, Billie Jean King of the United States defeated Margaret Court of Australia 2-1 to win the Women's Championship singles final. The scores were 6-2, 4-6, 6-3. The match taking 1 hour and 28 minutes, Kingley winning 2-1.
Well, I think we could describe that first game of the men's singles final as dignified and sedate. Neither player went for too much. It was noticeable that Rosewall, as he does a lot nowadays, at any stage of the match, frequently rallies from the baseline when he's serving before going in. He varies his tactics a great deal, and he in particular has learnt that racing to the net all the time may not necessarily be the correct tactics.
Fault. Out.
Just out.
Love 15. All. Take a board. Fault. $30-15. $40-15. Let. Fault. Out. Game. Laver. 1 game all.
In the first set. Rosewall serving from the southern end of the White City court. There's a northeasterly breeze blowing this afternoon, blowing across the court from the left to the right as we look down on it.
Out. 15 love. Fault. $15 all. $30-15. $40-15. Out. Out. 40-30. Deuce. Out. Advantage receiver.
Point here to Laver for a break of service.
Deuce. Fault. Advantage server. Yes.
Games are 1-1, deuce, first set.
Out. Out. Advantage server. Game, Rosewall. Rosewall lead by 2-1, first set.
Well, Laver's timing is not perfect yet. You can probably hear it occasionally on the sound effects that when he hits the ball off the sweet spot, when it hits towards the top of the bottom of the racket, there's a far duller sound than the sweet click when the ball hits right in the centre. He is not a fast starter, Laver, but on that occasion he did have a chance of breaking through when Laver coming to the net, when Rosewall coming to the net was caught near his feet, and he made a couple of rather slack volleys, slack at least for Rosewall.
Laver to serve.
Fault. Out. 15 love. Out. 30 love. 40 love. Halt. Halt. Double fault.
First double fault of the match.
40-15. Out. Game, Laver. Two games all.
In the first set.
Out. Fifteen love. Out. 30 love. Thirty 15.
Rosewall beautifully, wrong footing, Laver.
40-15. Let.
Yes. Just in.
40-30. Deuce. Out. Advantage server.
Games are 2-all in the first set. Advantage to Rosewall.
Ball.
It's on the line.
Yes. Advantage receiver.
Game point to Laver.
Yes. Fault. Put up. Advantage server. Out. Yes.
Fourth deuce.
advantage server. Out. Game Rosewall. Rosewall lead by 3 games to 2.
In the first set. This is the final of the men's singles championship. Rosewall has had a great deal more trouble holding his service compared to Laver. Rosewall's had 3 services so far. The first he won 230. The second one, he had a game point against him after the first deuce, although he did lead in that game, 40-15. And he won that after 3 deuces. And now in the 5th game, he again led 40-15. But in the third deuce, another break point against him, and he just struggled out. Laver, on the other hand, has lost only 2 points in 2 services, one of which was a double fault.
Laver serves.
Fault. Love 15. Fault. Double fault.
Laver's second.
Love 30.
Double fault.
$15.30. Out. 15-40.
Rosewall holds 2 points here for a break of service.
Fault. Out. 30-40.
Rosewall still holding 1 game point.
Out. Out.
It's a break.
Game Rosewall. Rosewall lead by 4 games to 2, first set. Fault. Out. Love 15.
Shot.
Love 30. Out. 15-30. 30 all.
Just out.
Out.
What a great rally.
40-30. Fault. Game Rosewall. Rosewall lead by 5 games to 2. First set.
What a wonderful rally it was when both of the players were near the baseline. It wasn't a case of their wanting to be there. They both had so much respect for the other players' passing shots that they had to stay back until they got the chance to get in. You remember the old-fashioned type of tennis where the players stayed in the baseline and loved it there and refused to come to the net. Well, don't get the impression that these two players were playing that sort of tennis. They're both essentially net players, although both can play from the baseline. I do believe, though, that Rosewall will have to start getting to the net more behind his service, because once Laver gets his passing shots, once Laver gets his shots really working properly, Rosewall cannot afford to give away the initiative.
2 balls.
Fault. Love. Fault. Double fault.
Laver's third double fault.
Fault. Double fault.
4th double fault.
15-30.
Rosewall within 2 points of taking out the first set.
Wait, please. All. Fault. Forty 30. Out. Game Laver. Rosewall lead by 5 games to 3.
Last night in his semi-final match against Roger Taylor, Rod Laver served no less than 8 double faults, and 4 so far today is not good.
Out. 15 love.
Rosewall leading 5-3 in the first set, serving for the first set.
love. Fault. Out. 40 love.
Rosewall holding 3 set points.
Out. 40-15. Fault. Game. First set to Rosewall, 6-3.
The first set to Rosewall at 6-3 took 28 minutes.
It has been decided that the semi-finals in doubles will be played on an outer court behind the northern stand. This is Laver, Bill Barry versus Newcomen Gonzalez, and this will be starting in a few moments' time. The winner of this match will play Rosewall and Stolly in the final of the doubles on the centre court.
The announcement to the effect that the semi-final of the men's doubles, which was scheduled to follow the singles match and then the men's doubles final, the second semi-final between Taylor and Bowery and Newcomb and Gonzalez will be played on an outside court in order that the tournament and other commitments may be met, because a lot of the players, or most of the players, will be leaving tonight. However, following this match,
Fault.
or later this afternoon, we will be seeing the final of the men's doubles.
15 love. Fault. Out. 30 love. Fault. Out. Love. Fault. $40-15. Game, Laver. Laver lead, 1-0, second set.
Repeating the result of the women's singles championship played earlier this afternoon, Billie Jean King of the United States defeated Margaret Court of Australia 2-1, 6-3, 4-6, 6-3, the match taking 1 hour and 28 minutes. I just mentioned the second semi-final of the men's doubles to be played on an outside court, Taylor Bowery versus Newcomb and Gonzalez. The winner of that match will play Ken Rosewall and Fred Stolly. So when the doubles final does come out, Fred Stolly will be the only player who will be fresh for the match. The other 3 will have already played this afternoon. Rosewall to serve.
Love. Let. Fault. All. Fault. Thirty, 15. Out. Out. 40, 15. Out. Double fault.
Rosewall's first double fault.
40, 30.
Laver has served 4, Rosewall 1. No aces as yet.
Fault. Deuce. Out. Advantage server.
Great shot, Laver.
Deuce. Advantage server. Game, Rosewall. 1 game all, second set.
Rosewall having won the first 6 games to 3 in 28 minutes.
Fault. Love. Fault. 15 all. Halt. Out. 15-30. All. Out.
Shot Rosewall.
30-40.
Rosewall holding, game point for a 2-1 lead. Second set.
Yes. Out. Advantage server. Out. Out. Yes. Advantage receiver.
Another game point to Rosewall.
Out. Out. Yes.
Just as well the Laver didn't have to play the ball back. Rosewall was about 12 feet out of court and his racket 20 feet out of court.
Out. Advantage server. Fault. Yes. Advantage server. Fault. Out. Deuce.
Rosewall, the first set, 6-3. 1-all in the second. Deuce on Laver's service.
Advantage server. Out. Deuce.
The longest game of the match.
Advantage server. Fault. Game, Laver. Laver lead by 2-1, second set.
Rosa won the first set 6-3. That last game took 7 minutes to play. There were 7 deuces. And these two players are using absolutely every inch of the court.
Fault. Love 15.
The first 3 games took 16 minutes in this set.
Let. Out. Love 30. Let. Fault. Double fault.
Rosewall second.
Love 40.
Laver holding 3 game points for a service break and a 2-all in the second set.
Fault. (15-40).
One scoreboard showing Laver leading 2-1 in the second, and the other one showing Rosewall leading 2-1. But it's Laver leading 2-1.
Game, Laver. Laver leads 3-1.
Laver to serve.
Out. Out. 15 love. love. Fault. Out.
Just out.
30-15. Forty, 15. Out.
Great play, Rosewall.
Forty, 30. Years. Advantage server.
An ace. First of the match.
Game Laver. Laver lead by 4 games to 1. Second set.
Rosewall having taken the first set 6-3, which occupied 28 minutes.
Well, at long last, Rod Laver's service is coming good. He's only served one ace, admittedly, but his first service is going in far more frequently, and his second service, which is a very important one, is about 6 inches to a foot deeper and has more bite and more spin, or as they say in tennis circles, is a heavier ball. The whole of Laver's game and confidence is built around the excellence of his service. Last night against Roger Taylor, whom he defeated in 4 sets after losing the second one at 12-14. In the third and fourth sets, he served well and he won 6-2, 6-2. He seems to have the second set almost in hand, playing much better.
Out. 15 love. Fault. All. Fault. Thirty, 15. Out. 30 all. Forty, 30. Out. Game. Rosewall. They will lead by 4 games to 2. Fault. Love.
Oh, what a shot, Laver.
30 love. Out.
On the line. Great tactics.
30-15. Out. Out. 40-15. Forty, 30. Game, Laver. Laver lead 5 games to 2, second set. New ball.
Rosewall won the first set 6-3 in 28 minutes. I saw these players play the final in Paris, the French titles, in both 1968 and 1969. In 1968, Rosewall gave a supreme display of ball control, and using the lob, he kept Laver away from the net most of the time, and he won to score something like 6-1, 6-2, 2-6, 6-1. But in the final of the event in Paris last year, in the centre court there, is very slow, very red, described by an English journalist as looking like a rusty pan. It was Laver's turn this time, and apart from a recovery by Rosewall at the dying stages of the third set, Laver was all over the Sydney player, winning in straight. That was his second leg on the way to the Grand Slam of 1969.
Right, please. Out. Love 15. Fault. Love 30. Fault.
Oh, shot Laver.
Love, 40.
3 set points to Laver. 5-2, 40 Love.
Out, game, and second set to Laver. Six games to 2. Match stands 1 set all.
In 30 minutes, the second set, the first set 28, the 30, the second 30.
Quiet, please.
1 set all. Laver to serve the opening game of the third set.
Fault. Love. Out. 30 Love. Fault. Out. 30-15. Fault. Forty, 15. Game Laver. Laver lead by 1 game to love, third set.
Rosewall having taken the first 6-3 and Laver the second 6-2. The result of the earlier match, the women's singles final, Billie Jean King of the United States defeated Margaret Court of Australia 2-1, 6-2 in 30 minutes, 4-6 30 minutes, and 6-3 the third set in 28 minutes.
Well, Laver is definitely on top at the moment. In the last 3 games he has played, he has won 12 points to 3, dropping only the 2 points of the 3 on Rosewall's service. Once he gets into this mode, he's very dangerous. It's typical of the way he plays a lot of his matches, a rather uncertain start, but once he gets the service working and gets in the groove, there's few players in the world can live on the court with him.
Quiet, please.
But one thing's certain, Rosewall will be fighting every inch of the way.
Fault. Love. Fault.
Great play.
30 love.
Rosewall's first ace.
40 love. Game, Rose. 1 game all, third set.
Both players have now served 1 ace each. Laver 4 double faults and Rosewall 2.
15 love.
Laver's second ace.
Foul. Double foul.
Laver's 5th double fault.
15 all. Thirty, 15.
Oh, great recovery.
Forty, 15.
No question, this is champagne tennis.
Out. Game, Laver. Laver lead by 2 games to 1.
Well, that final point, Rosewall threw his racket about 10 feet after that ball. He knew how hopeless it was.
I bet I'm going to improve on that expression of yours of champagne of tennis. This is Napoleon Brandy, 1778, the best ever bottled. It's a long time since we've seen such sustained brilliance from these two players. Time after time, Rosewall appears to be beaten, but scurrying yards outside the court, he's brought off miraculous recoveries, with Laver waiting there to bang the ball into the other side. Is it any wonder that the crowd here today of approximately 7,500 is only restraining their clapping during the rallies because they know that's the right thing to do, but as soon as the rally is finished, they really show their appreciation.
Well, this telecast of the men's singles semi-final of this Dunlop International has been relayed throughout New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, Tasmania and South Australia. And we trust all our viewers are enjoying as much the tennis as the big crowd is here.
Please. Love 15. Out. Love 30. Fault. Double fault. Love 40.
Rosewall's third double fault. Laver holding 3 game points here for a 3-1 lead in the third set.
Game, Laver. Laver now lead by 3 games to 1, third set.
It's the 5th break of service in the whole match. 2 in the first set, 2 in the second, and 1 in the third.
Let. Out. Love 15. All. Fault. Double fault. 15-30.
Laver's 6th double fault.
Fault. $15-40. Fault. Laver lead by 3 games to 2.
Rosewall the first set 6-3, Laver the second 6-2, and that's Laver leading 3-2 in the third. 2 service breaks in this third set.
Laver missed a volley. It's almost historic, and it wasn't all that hard. The standard is unbelievably high. This is the type of tennis which will bring the public back. It's a perfect day in Sydney today. And in the first set, Rosewall won 6-3. Laver came back at 6-2. Laver had 3-1 in this set with a break of service in the 4th game. But he dropped his own in the 5th. He still leads 3-2, but Rosewall has a chance of making it 3-all.
Out. 15 love. Love.
Laver about 15 feet out of court by the time he'd finished playing that shot.
Out. Out. 40 love. 3 games all. Out. Double foul. Love 15.
It's Laver's 7th double fault.
Out. 15 all. Out.
Right on the line.
30-15. Out. Out. 30 all. Out. 40-30. Yes. Out. Advantage receiver.
Point to Rosewall for a 4-3 lead.
Out. Game Rose. Rose will lead 4-3, third set.
What a remarkable change. Rosewall lost his service in the 4th game of this set to Love, and then in the 6th game he won his service to Love, and now he's broken through Laver. Laver at one stage holding 3-1 in the set, now finds himself in the position of being down 3-4. Laver did serve one additional double fault in that period, but he made a couple of careless shots, or when I say careless, they were difficult ones, but he didn't seem to concentrate quite sufficiently. But Ken Rosewall, only 5'7", but every inch a fighter, and with the experience of so many years of top tennis, he seems to be able to have a secret reservoir of good shots to be produced in the crises.
Right, please.
Rosewall leading 4-3 in the 3rd set. 1 set all.
$15 love. Fault. Out. 15 all.
Rosewall lost his racket then. Had the ball gone back after he had lost the racket, of course, it would have been a foul shot. The racket must be in the hand.
$30-15.
Oh, great shot, Laver.
30-all. Out. Out. 40-30. Game Rose. New ball, please.
That was
Rose will lead by 5-3. Third set.
Rosewall's second ace.
White, please. $15 love. Out. $15-all. Out. Out. 15-30. Out.
Just out.
15-40.
Rosewall holding 2 set points.
Out. $30-40. Out. Yes. Advantage receiver. Out. Double foul.
Another service break, and this third set to Laver, to Rosewall.
Game. Third set to Rosewall. 6-3. Rosewall now lead by 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, rest period not exceeding 10 minutes will be taken.
The first set, Rosewall took in 28 minutes 6-3. Laver took the second 6-2 in 30 minutes, and Rosewall the third 6-3 in 25 minutes. So far, Rosewall has served 2 aces and 3 double faults. Laver has served 2 aces, 8 double faults. The players are back on the court, and in about 1 minute's time, the match will resume. Rosewall leading 2-1. Just to the right of our screen, the tournament referee, Mr. Cliff Sproul, following Rod Laver across as he moves down to the southern end of the court here at White City. Still,
White, please, ladies and gentlemen.
good light here, a little bit of cloud overhead, still the light northeasterly breeze blowing across the court from the left to the right, but conditions still ideal. On the resumption of play, Rosewall to serve from the northern end. That's the end.
Rosewall to serve. Fourth set.
There's the camera.
Line be ready. Play. Fault. Love 15. Fault. Out. 15 all. Out. 30-15. Fault. Thirty all. Fault. $30-40.
Laver holding a point here for a break of service. That's the break.
Game, Laver. They lead by 1 game to love. Fourth set.
With Rosewall leading 2-1. Normally one would think that with the early break that Laver would scamper through this set, but one must remember that in the third set he got a break for 3-1 and then did not win another game in the set. In other words, his service was broken 3 times. It's hard to believe that Laver could be beaten in 5 straight games. His service has not been good though.
Out. Love 15. Out. $15-all.
Laver something in his eye He apparently has got it out in his right eye.
$30-15. Out.
The winning point. $40-15.
Actually, Laver hit that smash as he was falling over backwards. He had to bend his back so far to get at the ball. He went over so far he lost balance and down he went, but hit a beautiful placement.
Out. Game, Laver. Laver leads by 2 games to love. 4th set. White, please.
Rosewall catching Laver on the wrong foot.
15 love. Out. $15 all. Out. $30-15. Out. $30 all. Out.
Point to Laver for another break.
30-40. Out.
That's the break.
Game, Laver. Laver leads by 3 games to love.
In the 4th set, Rosewall having taken the first 6-3, Laver the second 2-6, 6-2, and Rosewall the third 6-3. Laver leading in the 4th, 3 love.
And early today, Billie Jean King won the Women's Singles Championship, defeating Margaret Court in 3 sets. Well, once again, this is Laver at his best. When he gets a spell like this, his racket becomes a magic wand, a very powerful magic wand. He has the ability to hit passing shots from the baseline, even against a fleet-footed player like Ken Rosewall, is nothing less than amazing. He does play in streaks, and I believe that these streaks concentrate with the intensity of his concentration on the match. He says that sometimes he does find difficulty in keeping his mind on the task in hand.
Great return from Rosewall.
Love 15.
What a rally.
Love 30.
Reflexes are second nature.
$15, 30. Out. 30 all. $30, 40. Yes. Out.
Just out. Or was it?
Advantage. Receiver.
Given in, a mighty close decision. It must have just licked the line.
Rosewall holding a point for a service break.
Game.
The break.
Over. Laver lead by 3 games to 1. Fourth set.
3 service breaks in 4 games in this set.
Out. Love 15. Out. Out. Love 30. Out. Out. 15, 30. Out.
Right on the line. Rosewall holding his heart.
15-40.
Well, he may. Laver holding 2 game points for another break.
Out. Double foul. Game, Laver.
The 4th set, and that was Rosewall's 4th double fault. Half as many as Laver, who served 8. Laver leading 4-1, Rosewall 2 sets to 1.
With 4 broken services in this set out of 5 service games. You will recall, of course, that wonderful half volley that Laver made from right on the baseline, which hit the baseline at this end. That was reminiscent of one of the great French players, one of the 4 musketeers, Henri Cochet, and he frequently used to half volley balls deliberately from near the baseline. Even he'd walk into a position 2 or 3 feet inside the baseline to play half volleys, which he did with a big swinging action, and he made them like almost lofted shots past the bowler.
Laver leading 4-1, 4th set.
Out. 15 love. Out. 30 love. Fault. Double fault.
Laver's 9th double fault.
30-15. Out. 40-15. Fault. Game, Laver. Laver lead by 5 games to 1.
In the men's doubles semi-final, Newcomb and Gonzalez took the first set 6-4 against Taylor and Barry. Taylor and Barry leading 4-2 in the second set. Rosewall to serve, down 1-5 in the 4th set here.
Love. All. Out. 15-30. Fault. $15-40. $30-40. Out. Deuce.
Rosewall has saved 2 set points.
Out. Advantage receiver.
Another set point to Laver, leading 5-1 in the fourth set, with Rosewall leading 2-1.
Deuce. Halt. Advantage receiver.
Another set point to Laver.
Halt. Yes. Advantage server. Halt. Yes. Let. Halt. Advantage server. Halt. Yes. Halt. Out. Advantage server. Out. Game. Road. They will lead by 5-2, fourth set.
Well, can Ken Rosewall do it again? In the third set, he was down 1-3 and then ran out the set. In this set, he was even further behind, down 1-5.
Out. 15 love. Fault.
Right in the corner.
$15 all.
Just out.
Out. 30-15. Out. Double foul.
Laver's 10th double
30
fault.
all.
Set point to Laver.
Yes.
In the men's doubles semi-final, Bowery and Taylor took the second set. It's 1-1 against Newcomb and Gonzalez.
Advantage receiver.
Rosewall holding a point for a service break. Great volley.
Yes. Advantage server.
Set point to Laver.
Out. Out. Yes.
It's 2 set points that have been saved.
5 in the set.
Advantage server.
Set point again to Laver. On the line.
Out. Yes. Out. Advantage server.
Yet another set point to Laver.
6 set points.
Game. All set to Laver. 6 games to 2. Match stands 2 sets all.
And that 4th set, 29 minutes.
New ball.
The first went to 28 minutes, the second 30 minutes, the third 25 minutes, and the fourth 29 minutes. And so far, Laver has served 2 aces and 10 double faults. Rosewall, 2 aces, 4 double faults.
Quiet, please.
Opening of the 5th set, Laver to serve. Rosewall to serve.
Love 15. Out. Love 30.
Well, when you've got your opponent on his knees playing a shot, and then
Love 40.
you hit it out.
White, please.
Poor Kenny Rosewall.
Fault.
Service break in the opening game.
Game, Laver. Laver leads, 1 game to love. Final set.
Rosewall lost his service in the first game of the set before this one. I wonder how long it is since we've seen so much wonderful tennis packed into a match. There have, of course, been mistakes, but the percentage of mistakes compared to the number of winners, the times that aggression has been the keynote of every rally, has been surprisingly small. Ken Rosewall 35, Rod Laver 31. One wonders which has the most stamina left. I would say at a guess that Laver has just those 4 years ahead.
Love 15. Love 30. Fault. Love 40. Fault. Out. Game, Rosewall. 1 game all, final set.
2 games to love in this, the 5th set, against the service.
Love 15.
In the men's doubles semi-final, it's 1 set all. Newcomb and Gonzalez the first 6-4, Taylor and Barry the second 6-3.
All.
Newcomb and Gonzalez leading 2-1 in the 3rd set.
Thirty, 15.
Wonderful tossing.
$40, 15. Fault.
Shot, Laver.
$40-30.
Just in.
Deuce.
1-1 and deuce in the fifth set. Laver about 50 feet out of court.
Laver almost ran into a trombone.
Advantage server. Fault. Game through. Rosewall leads 2-1. Final set.
Rosewall took the first set 6-3, Laver the second 6-2, Rosewall the third 6-3, and Laver the fourth 6-2, and it's Rosewall leading 2-1 in the fifth set.
Well, I don't know, but 2-1 to Rosewall in the fifth. Anything can still happen. I think they've both, I correct myself, I think they're both just about as fresh as each other, or as tired as each other.
$15
Men's double semi-final match, 3-all in the third set. Not quite up.
30 love. Fault. Double fault.
Laver's 11th double fault.
30-15.
He served 11 doubles, Rosewall 4, 2 aces each.
$40-15. Fault.
Just out.
40-30. Fault.
Beautiful stop volley by Laver.
Game Laver. 2 games all.
Fifth set. Tension here is fantastic. You can feel it all around this vast crowd at White City.
$15. $30. Out.
Raised chalk, but it was off the line.
.40. Out.
Just right. Kenny Rosewall giving himself a clap too.
Game Rosewall. Rosewall leads by 3 games to 2. Final set.
Alf, you could almost write another chapter in the story of the Rosewall backhand here this afternoon.
I think you could nearly write another book on tennis. These players have used every shot in the book, and some they've invented for themselves. That last shot of Rosewall's would be one of the most unusual shots ever tried. A good return from Laver, and then a half volley, top spin, over the net at an acute angle. I think one of Rosewall's ancestors must be Euclid for him to have control of so many delicate angles. This is the 5th set, and Rosewall has gone to a lead of 3-2. He has the advantage in this final set of having his serve, and then Laver has to serve to try and make the score level. 2 breaks of service in this set so far, the first and second games.
Laver to serve.
Fault. $15 love. Out. $30 love. Fault. Double fault. 30-15. Fault. Double fault.
Laver's 12th.
30 all. Fault. Out.
Break for service.
30-40.
Rosewall holding a point here for service break.
Yes.
Just watching Rod Laver, then a great big sigh of relief.
Fault. Advantage receiver.
Another point to Rosewall here for a break. He's leading 3-2 in the 5th set.
Fault. Yes.
Just out.
Out. Advantage server. .
Out.
Out. Yes. Fault. Advantage server. Fault.
Laver holds service.
Game, Laver. 3 games all, final set.
In the doubles semi-final, Newcomb and Gonzalez leading 5-4 in the third set.
Love 15. All. Out. 30-15. Fault. Out.
Just out.
40-15. (40-30).
Just in.
Yes. Advantage receiver.
Game point to Laver for a break of service. It's 3-all in the fifth set. That court gave it to him.
Game, Laver. Laver leads by 4-3. Final set.
I wonder if that net cord, which jumped over Rosewall's racket, will eventually affect the result. It certainly enabled Laver to break through. It could mean the difference between winning 5,000 American dollars and 2,500. But I don't think for a moment that the players would even be thinking about dollars at the moment. They're so keen to win, and in the case of both of them, there's a great deal of pride of performance. And what a performance they have put on today. The players have been on the court, apart from the 10 minutes which they had a rest after the third set, for 2.5 hours, or 2 hours 29 minutes. And apart from those double faults of Laver, and I think he has now served 12, it's almost impossible to fault the play, the tactics, and the technique of these two great finalists.
Out.
In the doubles match, the
15
semi-final,
love.
it's 5-all in the third set in the doubles match on the outside court.
Out. 30 love. Out. 30-15. Forty, 15. Fault. Double fault. 40-30.
13 double faults.
Fault. Double fault.
14.
Use. Advantage 7. Out. Use. Halt. Advantage 7. Halt. Double fault.
15 double faults to Rod Laver.
Use.
On the outside court, Taylor and Barry have won that semi-final, 7-5 in the third set.
Halt.
Magnificent.
Advantage 7.
Laver holding a point here for a 5-3 lead in the fifth set.
Use. Advantage 7.
Laver offering his racket to the ball boy, suggesting
He serve.
You serve for me. I've served 15 doubles. You can't do much worse.
How's about that? His third ace.
Game, Laver. Laver leads by 5 games to 3. Final set.
Rosewall now to serve to keep the match alive.
Love. Let. Take your time. All. $30-15. Out. 40-15. $40-30.
One can just imagine Rosewall's feelings at that moment, missing the volley, but he doesn't show a thing.
Deuce.
Laver leading 5-3 in the 5th set. Deuce on Rosewall's service. Match point.
Advantage receiver.
That's the match.
Match to Laver, 3 sets to 2. 3-6, 6-2, 3-6, 6-2, 6-3. Thank you, linesman. Thank you, ball boy.
I think this match deserves a standing ovation, one of the greatest exhibitions of campaign of all time.
And we heartily endorse that, Mr. Sproul.
And now it is my great pleasure, and I thought at one stage of the game he might pull it off too. It is my great pleasure to present this cheque to Ken Rosewall as the runner-up of the men's singles. Congratulations, Ken. Thank you.
Mr. Dunshea, if I may interrupt at this moment, before your final presentation, May I ask for Ken Rosewall to be excused from the court? He's due to appear in the doubles very shortly. He is much in need of a rest, obviously. The 20 minutes rest will be, I think, thankfully applied. Ken?
Have a sleep, Ken. Before I make this presentation to Rod, I would like to say how much we appreciate the work of the members of the Lawn Tennis Association of New South Wales and all those who have assisted in our grand tournament, which I think has been the finest staged for many years. Now, some years ago, Rod Laver used to really work for me, and he had to do as he was told. During the week, we were at dinner together, and I instructed him that he had to win this match today. So he's still behaving himself quite well. It is my great pleasure, Rod, to present this prize to you as the champion on the courts, the male courts, that is, this afternoon. Congratulations, Rod. You did exactly as you were told, eh?
Thank you, Mr. Dunshea, and distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Well, it certainly is a terrific pleasure and honour to be able to accept this first prize. I must admit that I felt a little lucky there at certain stages when all I felt was that I was on a string and Ken had the piece of string and was moving me all over the court. But I think he did have a little misfortune at certain stages, but I guess that's the way the ball bounces. And on behalf of, I think, all the players that have participated this week, we'd like to congratulate the Dunlop Company on staging another tremendous event here. The spectators that have come out today especially, it is very gratifying to see that tennis really is moving in Australia, and that the organisation on this tournament has been excellent, and I think the players have really enjoyed it, and I'm sure if this is on next year they'll be back. I never asked Mr. Dunshea how I fared as a worker, but I hope he's happy with today's performance. Thank you.
Rod, congratulations on yet another victory. I think the last time I spoke to you on this occasion was at Wimbledon when you were on the way to the Grand Slam. Did today's match give you as much thrill as Wimbledon?
Oh yes, I felt I played as well as I've played almost everywhere in the world, and that's the gratifying part. I like to feel that I'm playing well and timing the ball.
And you did have some trouble. You have had some trouble with your service right through the week. What about today? You had a number of double faults, old chap.
Well, Alf, it's one of those things when you're playing Kenny. You've got to be able to put a lot more effort into the second serve, and if you miss your first serve, which I was doing continually. But this is something that I've known not to worry about the amount of doubles I serve, but when you're in a difficult position, you've got to really get out there and penetrate with the second one.
You don't let it become a psychological barrier if you serve these double faults at all, then?
No, I don't feel that way, but I feel it is a mistake to serve doubles, but when Kenny's penetrating with the return of service that he's got.
And from here you go to where?
We'll be playing in South Africa on the 24th. We fly off tonight, and then I'm coming back and going off up to my hometown, to Gladstone, for about 10 or 12 days.
But you're picking up a very important person in South Africa, aren't you?
Yes, my wife will be there. She'll be flying down there next Saturday, so we'll meet there and come over here for a couple of weeks.
And how's the brand new baby?
Oh, he's great. He's about 5.5 months now. Got a couple of teeth now even.
Has he got red hair?
No, sandy hair, but I believe he's left-handed. He's finally showed his colours.
Another lefty in the family.
Yeah.
And Wimbledon this year?
I'll be playing Wimbledon. I will always play Wimbledon. It's a great tournament and has all the atmosphere, and I think players that do play in it, I think, realise that that's the biggest tournament in the world.
Prestige-wise and every way.
Yes, yeah.
And how long will you continue to play tennis, Rocket? Another 10 years, maybe?
I'm not like Pancho Gonzalez, but I feel that a couple of years fairly competitively, and then I'd like to lapse a little bit into a 6 months on and 6 months off base.
Well, that's a sensible thing to do. Once again, Rocket, congratulations on a great win, and more than the win, what you've done for Australian tennis, you and the other players, you put it back on the map. You and Dunlops have done a tremendous job.
Well, thank you, Alf. I'm very pleased to have been the winner of this particular tournament, but I know that participating is the main thing.
Thanks. Thank you very much, Rod, and the best of luck in South Africa and overseas.
Thanks, Alf.
Alf Chave talking with Rod Laver, repeating the score again. For those of you that may have missed it earlier, Rod Laver defeated Ken Rosewall in 5 magnificent sets, 3-6, 6-2, 3-6, 6-2, 6-3. The match occupying 2 hours and 22 minutes.